Shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawahshi, bahasham, Rawchaa Qadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations and peace to the hopeful elect. Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, and it is the Passover. Okay. Now, I decided to do this video simply because on my channel about 10 days ago, as you see on your screen there, I had posted a video to an invitation for Passover. And Passover starts right now tonight at sundown. The sun went down here on the East Coast at 7:32 p.m. Okay, so we are already into Passover. We're already into the Sabbath as well. So the Sabbath day brings in the Passover. Passover begins on the Sabbath day, should I say. And as you can see on the screen, March 16th, which is tonight, okay, according to the Gregorian, the Julian calendar. And it also starts the Feast of Unleavened Bread, okay. And we know that leavening is a rising agent, such as yeast. That's a leavening agent, okay. So we are to only consume unleavened bread tonight for Passover feast, as well as we are to only have unleavened bread within our household. Now, many of us live in households where the 2/3 are present. So you can't, the way I interpret that, I live with my parents, and my parents are they are not open to the knowledge of the truth. They have not accepted the knowledge of the truth. They're still they are 2/3. They still worship Christianity. Bread is in this house, but bread is not within none of my stuff where I keep my food at. Okay, no kind of bread. Even to fry. If you had fried chicken the other day or whatnot, it should have been consumed up until this day before sundown. Why? Because that breading, that flour, if you will, is composed of yeast. Okay. Now, baked chicken, boiled chicken, that's fine. Okay. Grilled chicken, that's fine. If you had, grilled chicken the other day, or baked or boiled chicken the other day, or roasted chicken, and it's still within where you keep your food at, or what you would have for consumption over the next few days, maybe eating leftovers, that's fine. Okay, so I wanted to do this quick video because we're into the Passover right now. I was in the grocery store just a few hours ago, and I had just picked up all of my goods and came home and started cooking my Sabbath meal as well as my Passover meal. Okay, so without further ado, I just want to say a few words on Passover. Tonight, either tonight or in the morning, I will tune in to one of Great Millstone's videos. I will either download it and post it to my channel, or I will tune in as it is. I will just post a note on my channel to tune into the broadcast, because that will be the service for Passover. Okay, so now what I did on this video here, I did this video 10 days ago, and in the description box, I put some pointers, okay, that we should be aware of coming into Passover. Now, it is not expected, those of us who just woke up to the knowledge of the truth, maybe this past year or last year, okay, it is not expected of you to keep the entire, you may tune into the meal, you may prepare the meal, the Passover meal, you may also prepare, the Passover meal, and of course your Sabbath meal, okay, and whatnot, because we know we are to not cook or prepare food while in the Sabbath, okay. So, when I got home here the day before the Sabbath actually came in, I got started on my Passover meal as well as my Sabbath meal, okay. Sometimes my mom, if I already have stuff up and she's in the kitchen catching up on some work, or on her laptop, or she's cooking dinner for her and my dad, then I'll have my stuff already there, and she'll go ahead and cook my stuff for me. So that's not always like that, but sometimes it is like that. Especially when she's in the kitchen and she need all the space, so to speak, in the kitchen. So, but I just want to go a few of these pointers here, and in the subscription box. And as you can see there, Exodus chapter 12 covers Passover. Okay, so that is the chapter and that goes over and discusses Passover. Okay, and so now the feast of unleavened bread. Like I say, leavening is a rising agent, like yeast. Okay, sandwich bread that has yeast in it. Okay, rolls, muffins, cornbread, yeast. So one of the only type of bread that I know that's readily accessible in any grocery store, any gas station, would be tortilla chips. Okay, because the tortilla chips, and a Dorito chip is a tortilla chip. However, Dorito chips have seasoning on it. Okay, so I try to get something that's unseasoned. Okay, all right, and we will explain that when we go into the preparation for the Passover meal. Okay, so now, and I have here on the description box, Feast of Unleavened Bread will begin March 16th. So the Sabbath came in at sundown, 7:32 Eastern Standard Time, which also brought in Passover, which also brought in the Feast of Unleavened Bread as well. Okay, so for 1 week we are to not consume leavened bread. We are only, let me restate that. We are only to consume unleavened bread, and we're to only have unleavened bread within our household. Now, if you have it here, if you have it in your house or whatnot, whatever the case is, and maybe it's not easy for you to get to the store, or it's not easy for you to get your hands on bread like it was before this famine started. Okay, the prophecy of famine started. Then go and put it in your car. Okay, and keep it in your car. Okay, and don't eat it. Okay, keep it in your car for a week. Maybe put it in some Ziploc bags, zip it up, and then put it in a couple other types of bags and tie it up. That way it won't go stale or nothing won't get into it, and you won't lose it. Okay, then let's skip down. For 7 days we are to only eat unleavened bread, no yeast or rising agent. We should not have any unleavened bread in our household, in our cabinets or in our pantry. Okay. Then let's go down. Consume all this type of bread. Consume all your leavened bread before March 16th, or store in car's trunk. Okay, I didn't realize I had that on there like that. Okay, examples of unleavened bread include tortilla chips. Okay, bitter herbs. Your bitter herbs are going to be Elder Apostle Tahar on last year's Passover. I specifically had caught a video that he had did right before Passover, like 2 or 3 days before, and he said horseradish is the most convenient, most bitter herb. Okay, now on this in the subscription box, I have horseradish root because that's the most preferred. I mean, if you've ever had horseradish sauce before, whew, I think you get the gist. Cilantro. Cilantro is what I usually pick up, okay, because I make up the lemon ginger blast that came from was a recommendation for energy and for vitality from Elder Apostle Qadash's channel, maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, and I frequently make that. Okay, so cilantro goes in there as well as Italian parsley and parsley itself. So, but cilantro and parsley are also bitter herbs. Okay, mint is a bitter herb. And when I say bitter, I mean when you put fresh peppermint or fresh mint in your mouth, oh, it's gonna freshen your breath. But when it get around the sides of your tongue, you're gonna be experiencing some other attributes of it. Okay, so now let's see what else here. Wine. You want to get dry wine. Okay. I was in. Usually, I'll go to the grocery store, and I can find it. I can find that. I can find dry wine for somewhere between $7.99 and $9.99. Okay. But the other day, I went to a liquor store in my town, and the liquor store had a good dry wine, for $6.49, and I was amazed, and I was glad I picked that up at that price. Okay, and some of those wines, some of them have a screw top. You have to tear the foil off and remove the screw top. But some of those wines have corks in them as well, so you will have to get a corkscrew to remove the cork. Okay, so now let's see here. Where are we at now? So dry wine. Dry wine is that bitter kind of sour wine. You know, it's red, of course. Okay, blood of grapes. It's red, but it's red, but it's kind of dry. There's no sweetening to it. Okay, and you'll understand that when I publish the Passover video, you'll understand that as well as to why that is that way. Okay, so now, because right now this video, what I'm doing right now is going over this. I had this typed in the description box 10 days ago, but I should have posted something up in the title where I says see below or see description box. That way, the individuals catching this video, whether my subscribers or onlookers or browsers, YouTube browsers, will be able to get the gist of what what the meal consists of and what we should get. Okay, now I put on this video tart cherry juice, and that really was supposed to be tart grape juice or unsweetened grape juice, so lucky for that error. The reason why I put that on there, because the very first time that I came into that I practiced Passover after coming to the knowledge of the truth, I couldn't, not that I couldn't drink wine at the time, but I had some issues going on with me on that dealing with wine or alcohol or anything like that. So at the time, I think I had typed into one of the great millstones. I wasn't gonna say a great millstone prophet, but a faithful servant of great millstone. And he had told me then that, preferably get the wine. But if you have an issue or whatever the case is, then unsweetened grape juice is still blood of grapes. So yes, so that's why I was able to put that in there. Whatever the case is. So, but it is easier for you to probably locate and purchase a bottle of dry wine than it is to find organic unsweetened grape juice. Probably a lot easier for you to find that. Okay, so that is why that's listed there, but I slock it for that error in there whatnot. So now the meat. The meat is preferably lamb or goat. Why? Because the lamb represents the lamb of our power, and the lamb of our power is our daily bread. You got me? That's our daily bread. Pursuant to Luke 4:4, Deuteronomy 8:3. So lamb and goat are both clean. Okay, they're both clean animals. Pursuant to Leviticus 11, Leviticus 13, because they split the hoof and they both chew at the cud. Okay, so now I did put on this video here in the description box, due to high cost, quiet taste, beef is acceptable. Now, the reason why I put that there is because, yes, we know that the process of famine has started throughout the land. We know that beef is high, okay? We know that, okay? Goat and lamb can be high. It was one time I had went and got I went to a Jamaican restaurant, so-called Jamaican restaurant, Tribe of Benjamin, so-called Jamaican restaurant, and I got curry goat, okay? But I got the dinner, I got the curry goat dinner, but I also bought, at that particular restaurant, they sold meat separately, okay? The thing you got to remember, and we'll cover that in Exodus chapter 12 in our very next video that I'm going to publish here in just a few minutes, Lord willing. The thing you got to realize and understand about it is, according to Exodus chapter 12, when we go over it in our next video, you will begin to notice and see that meat cannot be boiled. That meat should be roasted over fire, and it should not be seasoned. It should not be seasoned. Why? Because we consume the actual original knowledge of the truth according to the truth. Okay, not according to the parables. Mark 4:9, Matthew 13:11, which I will go over then. We assume the natural, normal truth the way things were meant to be. Okay, so when you add seasoning to it, now you are adding something. It is a representation. It is a spiritual representation of adding to our power. You can't add nothing to him. He can add to you. He can take away from you. He can take you, but you can't add to him. So it is spiritual representation. It's spiritually representing that I want the truth. Okay, I want the truth, which is your daily bread. Yahawah by Yahawahshi. Period. That's it. Now, if you can receive that. Now, so we all know that lamb and goat is an acquired taste, okay? It is an acquired taste, okay? But we know we need a savior, okay? We know that according to the prophecies that are rapidly unfolding, that we are not going to be saved unless we have Yahawah by Yahawahshi within us, okay? So we know we need that. So of course it is an acquired taste. Physically and carnally speaking, it is an acquired taste. Yes, it's a rather wild meat, but you're not. The Bible says in Exodus chapter 12, when you eat that Passover meal, eat it in haste and go, because this is when we were leaving out of Egypt. Okay, he said eat it in haste. Eat in haste means eat fast, eat quickly. So some people they sit and they eat and they watch TV and they watch the computer and they sit and eat some more. And no. Eat it quick. In other words, I'm going to fix this food. Go ahead and eat this food right quick, because we got to go. We got to get out of here. That's the attitude and the mindset that we should be in for the Passover. And we will cover that in Exodus chapter 12 breakdown as well on the next video. Lord willing, that I get it done. But we got to say that, James 4:15. You ought to say if the Lord wills it, we will do this or do that. Because we don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. We don't know what we're going to be doing the next 10, 15 minutes. See what I'm saying? So that's correct according to law. Now, but I put beef as acceptable because you might live in an area where the lamb and the goat is, maybe not as acceptable to you. You might live in an area where you don't know where to go to get it. Okay, so we know that beef is clean. Okay, we know that chicken is clean, but because we don't eat chicken probably all the time for Sabbath meals, mainly, or beef, But if you can't get, again, we are here to rehearse the righteous acts of the law, pursuant to Judges 5:11. Okay, we are rehearsing the righteous acts of the law. So now, so lamb or preferably goat. But if you have an opportunity to go to a butcher shop and get lamb or goat, then please, by all means, go and get. Okay. If you have the opportunity to go to a so-called Jamaican restaurant, Tribe of Benjamin, okay, and you can purchase the meat alone, like a pound of meat, a half a pound of meat, or something like that, then get it like that, preferably raw. But if they won't, because of maybe DHEC limitations, they won't allow you to have it raw, then to purchase from them raw, then at least get it unseasoned. Why? Because the meat needs to be unseasoned. Okay. Now, let's see here. So why I prefer for it to be unseasoned, because we'll cover that as well. Right now, if I'm going to say that, I need to be backed up in Scripture, and that's prepared in the very next video. Okay, so that is the makeup of the necessities list of the Passover. Okay, and unleavened bread, like I said, tortilla chips. I know for me, I was able to go to my local grocer and get lamb chops. Now, the lamb chops I got, it was amazing, because I believe I paid $9.67. I bought it like 2 weeks ago, so I know I had that out of the way. And it's been in the freezer up until yesterday, and so I took it out to thaw. But I got 2 chops in there, okay, and 1 chop I went ahead and I washed it off. I did not season it, and I cut it up, and I put it on a roasting pan and put it in the oven with a little olive oil. I want to use extra virgin olive oil, because I know that particular pan don't belong to me. That Pyrex back there does. That glass dish I bake chicken in does, but that don't belong to me. So I had to put a little aluminum foil on it, and put some olive oil, extra virgin olive oil on it, so they won't stick. And I won't mess up nobody's pan. They have to hear about that. So, I just went ahead and did it like that. And it only took about maybe 15 minutes. It was done. So, but we're going to eat it in haste. So I know you know, I have some dental issues in the back of my mouth here or whatnot. So, and right now I have a lot of sore gums from dental work being done. So, I really, really wanted to cut it in small pieces so I would be able to eat it in haste and go. Otherwise, I'll be there by the hour too. So anyway, you know, so I just wanted to catch up on that. Get this video done and publish to my channel. Okay, and stay tuned for the very next video, which is the Exodus chapter 12 breakdown. Now, on tomorrow, so when you eat these things, the Exodus chapter 12 will tell us, and we will get that in the very next video. Exodus chapter 12 will tell us to go ahead on, and after we eat these things, don't leave nothing left over. Nothing left over, okay? All right. Nothing left over. So eat it and consume it all and throw the rest in the fire. Now, most of us are not in, this takes place from back when we were in Egypt, okay? When we were leaving out of Egypt by the hand of Moses and Aaron, right? So, you know, we there was a fire burning at everybody's camp. There was a fire. There were probably many fires burning, but right now we're not in that position. I believe my very first Passover I did build a little fire outside. Now, you know, because we, you know, have a lot of debris. I live in a rural area. We have a lot of debris we burn from time to time. So I think that night we had just burned some debris like a couple of days before. So I went and got some straw and some pine cones and stuff, and I started a little fire and whatnot. But then, when you read in Exodus chapter 12, it says, don't go out until morning. So if you were to do that, the only thing I could do is give it to somebody else, but I can't do that either. Why? Because those people are probably not in the truth. So they're not a part of this Passover celebration that we're doing in ceremony. So, you know, that's why you have to go according to the scriptures. So we'll catch that up in the next video. Okay, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, bahasham, Rawchaa Qadash, the one to the eldest possible great millstone. Salutations to hope elect, Shabbat, Shalom, and it is Passover. Shalom.